Welcome everybody to our webinar today on cybersecurity for tax preparers. My name's Dr. Bob Minetti. I'll be the presenter for today's material. By the way, let's go ahead and look at our objectives. What are we hoping to do today? Well, once you complete this webinar, you're going to be able to identify some of the cybersecurity risks for tax preparers. And we're also going to present some cost-effective internal controls for cybersecurity. We will look at the Federal Trade Commission rules that were put in place, regarding cybersecurity for financial professionals, as well as the IRS's WISP guidelines, all of which will be explained during the course of the webinar. So we've got a lot of material that we do need to cover. So when we look at something simple like data breaches, one of the things I'll let you know is all 50 states have rules requiring you to notify consumers, which are the people you're preparing taxes for, if their information has been compromised, whether it's from a hack or a cyber fraud or whether it's accidental. Now, the IRS is taking steps to try to help to prevent tax fraud, identity fraud for taxes. That was a big issue. You go back a couple of years, we were dealing with $30 billion worth of fraudulent tax returns. We've gotten better at it, and part of that is because of ISAC. And ISAC is the IRS's Information Sharing and Analysis Center. And the purpose is to create a relationship between the IRS, the various state taxing authorities. Now, we know there's a few states that don't have income tax, so they're not going to be as involved. And of course, the industry, the tax preparers, and the software. We look at, there's a number of major software companies that produce software for filing taxes. Some of that will be interesting to see now that we just recently saw the IRS announce they're going to try to open up an opportunity for individuals to file their taxes for free using software supplied by an IRS vendor. So that should be interesting. I know I mentioned phishing before, what are they looking for? Well, the criminals are looking for information they can monetize. Usernames, passwords, social security numbers, credit card numbers, date of birth, addresses, phone numbers, anything that they can monetize and sell. Now, phishing is done with email, but there's another one out there, vishing. And, vishing occurs when, they get a call on the phone. And now, smishing is done, when we're dealing with text messages. This was one of my favorite ones. I got this message that came from the Department of H&R Block that my annual certification was due. And if you click on the link here, there's an HTML that pops up and basically says that the US government has transitioned tax compliance from the IRS to H&R Block. And I have to, provide information for myself and all of my clients to H&R Block. Yeah, I didn't do that. Most of us would recognize that right away. Even H&R Block is going to say, hey, no, we have not replaced the IRS. We can help you file with the IRS, but we are not a government agency. And sometimes they're just out. Now, the other big thing I mentioned was data breaches, and this is one of the big issues that the IRS says we need to be aware of. Criminals stealing our taxpayers' information. And, the thing about a data breach is they're able to steal a large amount of data in a very short amount of time. It doesn't take a lot of time to copy a bunch of data files and send them out. Now, some of the things that we're looking at, new data analytics for cybersecurity, looking at the ability to report anomalies and detect anomalies, automated red flag detection, using link analysis and text mining.